We'll be running through a series of videos on how to use MateSel for genetic gain and managing genetic diversity. So there'll be a series of modules in this tutorial, including an introduction to MateSel, the genetic principles driving MateSel, how to set yourself up for success before you even start looking at MateSel, some practical uses of MateSel on farm, how to understand the input and output files from MateSel, a step-by-step guide to actually running MateSel, and also some common issues and frequently asked questions around MateSel runs. So the first module looks at an introduction to MateSel. So the aim of sheep breeding is to make the best to make the best. And MateSel fits into this by balancing genetic diversity, also driving genetic gain and enhancing breeding efficiency. And we'll understand a little bit more as we go through the modules here. So why MateSel? MateSel focuses on your flock's future. For example, the progeny of the matings that you'll be expecting to achieve through joining sires and rams. So it's not just looking at the sires and rams you have available, it's about predicting your flock's future essentially, and how to drive your flock's future forward by improving the average of the progeny matings. MateSel helps make mating recommendation based on the inputs that you add in, and you're totally in control of the inputs, the traits that you add into MateSel, and any target parameters as well. It looks to improve your entire flock and not just a few progeny. So MateSel isn't trying to identify unicorns or individual animals to pull your flock forward. It actually looks at improving the entire flock. It also ensures long-term genetic diversity and genetic gain, and we'll get into that in a little bit later. I thought I'd pop an example here of a particular flock in the terminal analysis and when they started using MateSel. So this particular flock started using MateSel back in 2019, and you can see their genetic gain from 2016 to 2019 was increasing, albeit a little slow. And then once they started using MateSel, their genetic gain increased rapidly. So they were able to make almost 10 index points of genetic gain in about a 5-year period after using MateSel. So what information is MateSel using when it looks at the potential matings and potential progeny of those matings? So obviously the genetic merit of animals. Any animal that's in the sheep genetics analysis, MateSel can pull their ASVVs and their indexes from. It obviously looks at pedigree as well because we're wanting to balance that genetic diversity whilst also making genetic gain. So MateSel is able to pull relationships between all animals within the specific analysis that you're running, so whether that's Merino Select or the maternal or terminal analyses. It also looks at on-farm decisions. So like I said, you control the parameters that you set for MateSel. So you can put in how much genetic gain you want, any logistics around on-farm mating decisions, whether you have to mate across multiple paddocks, whether you want to join ewe lambs or join ram lambs as well. And then also the equation underpinning MateSel software. So MateSel uses very sophisticated software to help optimize progeny genetics. So it's improving your entire flock rather than looking at individual unicorn animals. And it also does this, it also improves your flock's genetics, but also manages to maintain genetic diversity as well. So MateSel is just another tool in our genetic toolkit. It fits in around obviously ASBVs, any visual and structural classing or confirmation decisions. MateSel obviously is around the mating decisions, but we can also use MateSel for a few different on-farm practices, which we'll get into later. Your breeding objective, which is very important to set and have in the back of your brain before you actually start using MateSel, and then data quality. The higher the data quality, the higher the potential rate of genetic gain because we have higher accuracy of selection, and we just know more about those animals, so we're able to better account for fixed effects like birth type and rear type when we're calculating those breeding values as well.